Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Jonnychipz Weekly. It is Friday, the 23rd of April, 2021, and this is episode number 17. So let's jump straight on in. So, hi, everybody, and thanks so much for joining me on a Friday afternoon. It's Friday, it's the end of the week. We've had another busy week. I don't know what's going on at the moment. It just seems to be quite phenomenal, the amount of work that, not just myself, but colleagues and obviously other community members seem to be portraying at the moment. It seems to have gone a little bit stratospheric, which is great, but yeah, very busy, very busy. So without further ado, I'm going to try and keep this video down, as short as I possibly can. I know I say that every week and it never happens, but let's see how we get on. Keep the format the same again this week. So we'll just jump straight on into the Azure news and updates. So, yeah, we've had a reasonable week this week in terms of Azure updates. I think we've had about 10 updates on the page since last Friday. So, like I say, usually every week I'll take a look at these Azure updates. For the most part, they're a first look for me. I haven't managed to have a quick chance other than setting this up this morning for the first time. So let's jump on in and see what we've got in terms of announcements this week. Okay, so we have enhancements to encryption using customer managed keys for Azure Backup. That has gone into public preview. So it looks like we've got a few little enhancements to the bring your own keys situation with Azure Backup. So it now supports user assigned managed identities for granting permission on keys in the Recovery Services Vault. We can enable encryption with customer managed keys during the creation of the Recovery Services Vault. And that's in limited preview that you have to sign up for. And there's a form that you can fill in if that's something that you'd like to sign up for. And we can also use Azure policies to audit and enforce encryption using those customer managed keys. So cool, that's gone into public preview. We've got another public preview announcement around Azure Purview. So it's now available in the UK South and Australia East region. So for those of you that spotted the announcement, it's a few months back now, around Azure Purview, it's a tongue twister. It's a unified data governance service that helps customers maximize the business value of data. They've now made that available in UK South, which is obviously good news for us over here in the UK. And of course, in Australia East. So it's gone into public preview, so you can get started. There's a quick start guide there. Jump in, create an account, and have a little click around, see what you think. Okay, so now available. Action required. Upgrade your AML cluster to Ubuntu 18.04 LTS by the 30th of April. So that's a week. So any machine learning, Azure machine learning, you need to get this updated by the looks of things, and we've got a week to do it. So if that does apply to you, clearly that could be quite a thing that you need to do. I'm just trying to see if there's any real news as to there's a learn more button there. So the specifics behind why and the reason behind that you can delve into, but. They've started automatic migration of customers and instances to Ubuntu since about a month, just over a month ago. So check that. If you are using any AML clusters, then just check the version of the OS, the Ubuntu software that you're using. You've got a week to get that updated to the 18.04 LTS version. Okay. Another in preview announcement, Azure Purview resource set pattern rules available in public preview. Cool. Okie dokie. Azure Data Factory announces data flow general availability in 2 new Azure regions. So it looks like Data Factory, the data flow general availability is available in US Virginia and US Arizona, Azure GovCloud regions. Okie dokie. Next GA announcement. So application gateway URL rewrite. Okay, that's nice to see. So the app gateway now supports the ability to rewrite hostname, path, and query strings of any request URL. In addition to header rewrites, you can now also rewrite the URL of all or some of the client requests based on matching one or more conditions as required. Cool. That's great to see. How obviously URL rewrite is nothing new. It looks like Microsoft have now put that GA in the application gateway, which is, it obviously offers a lot of functionality and ability then to rewrite those URLs and pass them off. You get a URL request in, rewrite it into something that whatever it is that you need. So that's cool to see. Another in preview announcement, we've got Azure Virtual Machines DC SV2 series is now available in Azure Government. So if that applies to you, that's good news. Announcing general availability of the new M series, so MSV2, MDSV2, medium memory VMs for memory optimized workloads. So that is a GA announcement. So they've announced those versions of the medium memory VM sizes. They provide 20% increase in CPU performance. There's increased flexibility with local disks and new intermediate scale-up options. So let's just have a look. So they're saying that they provide unparalleled computational performance to support large in-memory databases and workloads such as SAP HANA and SQL Hackathon. So it's cool. Obviously the increase, the types and sizes and versions of VMs that are available in Azure keep growing. So that's cool to see. In development, so Microsoft yet again are announcing plans for another data center region in Malaysia this time. So it'll be the first data center region in Malaysia. So Microsoft announced its Bersama Malaysia Together with Malaysia initiative, which includes plans to establish its first data center region in Malaysia, empowering people, government, and business with highly secure, scalable, and low latency cloud services. As part of that plan, Microsoft will work with the government, communities, and enterprises to create digital skills programs to empower an estimated 1 million Malaysians by the end of 2023. It's just great to see, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's fantastic to see this expansion of data centers and obviously everything that comes along with that. And finally, now available, open source API portal is now gone generally available. So, if you're not familiar with the API portal, I've seen it once or twice. I don't use it on a daily basis, but like I say, it lets you create, publish, customized site and API documentation. Really, it's around that kind of. There's no cost to it, and you don't really need to be creating any kind of code. So. Just looking at some of the capabilities, they're designed to help you create a modern API documentation portal with REST API reference pages. So you can put code samples in there. You can have an interactive console, and they've introduced this no-code visual editor to kind of create that drag and drop customized look and feel to your pages. So, it's cool to see. So, that was the news for today. Okie dokie. So, in usual fashion, we will kick over to the Welsh Azure user group news. And this week is just a quick announcement. So, I just wanted to reiterate our next Welsh Azure user group meetup, which is on the 20th of May, 2021. We got 2 lightning talks from Peter Detender and Wim Matheson, so really looking forward to those. And then our feature presentation is a virtual Azure data center tour, which, I've seen a bit of news pop up recently around that. So I'm really excited to see that. I've been in data centers before. I've been in the UK West data center, which is housed. There's lots of customers in that data center, including Microsoft. So it'll be cool to actually see a full-on Microsoft data center. I've never actually seen. I've seen the snippets, probably like most people have, of data centers. But we've got Microsoft coming along to take us through that presentation and take us through that virtual tour. So. If you're interested, go and follow us on Twitter at Welsh Azure. There's the LinkedIn URL there, and sign up RSVP to our meetup page. And hopefully we'll see you there on the 20th of May. We'll be kicking off around about 6:30. So if you're interested, it would be cool to have you. Okay, we're getting through this today. This is what we like. So. So on to community callouts, and this week it's been a bit of like I say, a bit of a busy week for me. So the community callouts, really what I try and do is anything that comes through my social media, any bits and pieces that kind of catch my eye or something that I've got interested in, or other community members that are doing some fantastic work. I do try and give them a little bit of a platform, call them out, in this section of the show, just because, there are so many people doing some fantastic work, and it's good to call people out and acknowledge that from time to time. So let's jump on over. Okay, first call out is for Mr. Mert Yetter. So, as you may have seen, a couple of weeks back, Mert has brought a show over to the Azure Live channel, and it's called Mert to the Future. He's got his next show on the 29th of April, 7 p.m. You can watch that on twitch.tv/Azure Live. And he is speaking with May. So I've seen May again around Twitter and on the social media, and she's very much Power Suite advocate from what I can see. I'll certainly be tuning in for this one, because Power Platform is something, obviously, we're aware that it's there. I've dabbled in certain areas, but it's certainly one of those areas that I'd like to know more about. So I think, Merch putting these shows together and bringing people like May that have got the experience and the expertise to talk about these areas is fantastic. So if you're available, jump on and give Mert a little bit of support and come and watch that show. So that's on the 29th of April. Looking forward to that one. So just wanted to give a shout out to Dean Ellaby and Andy Jones. They had me on their Get Modern show last week. I think it got released earlier this week, so it was good fun. I mean, like, for those of you that don't know, I work with both Dean and Andy. They're great guys. They very much work on the modern desktop and security side of the fence with M365. So I do, I'm in communication with them on certain projects and things like that from time to time. But it's great to see that Dean and Andy, they're running off down this sort of community footpath, I should say, or road, street, whatever you want to call it. So they've got their Get Modern channel. So it was a pleasure to be, a guest on that show. And it's good fun. It's good crack to jump on with some colleagues and just have a little bit of a chinwag about things. So if you're not following Get Modern, go and follow them. They've got community user groups once a month. They've got a YouTube channel. They both got blogs pushing out some great content. So if you aren't following, like I say, jump on, give them a bit of support. Next, I wanted to call out James Cook as well. So James is another person in the community that is doing some fantastic work, and I've read through a few of his articles on his blog, and he's really putting together some cracking blog articles. And I just wanted to call out people like that, because sometimes they go out and they get found, and maybe they don't get spotted by a certain community member. So I just wanted to raise James on my show, just to say, just to showcase the fantastic work that he's putting together on his blog. So if you're not following James on Twitter, then follow him at official Cook J. And obviously his blog is jamescook.dev. So I've just called up one of the posts that he put up this week, which was around disk encryption and data disk on Linux. So if you click through there, there's so much more. I think James has been focusing a lot around the kind of DevOps arena, infrastructure as code, that kind of thing. But take a look. Go and give James a bit of support and follow his blog. And sticking to the same theme, good friend of mine, Jack Roper, again, he started blogging around about the same time as I did last year. And it's just brilliant to see what he's put together now. He's got some fantastic articles on there, again, in the DevOps infrastructure as code space. But if you're not following Jack, then Jack Wesley Roper is his Twitter handle. And then go and follow his blog. So he's got a blog over on Medium. So jackwesleyrroper.medium.com. Go and take a look, because there's some fantastic content on there. So I just wanted to call Jack out. This caught my eye earlier on in the week from Jamie. So I've read through his article. It looked really intriguing, actually. So using cognitive services, the text analytics APIs, really to remove some personal identifiable information. So I just wanted to call it out, because I found that quite intriguing with some of the conversations I've been having with certain customers that I'm working with at the moment. So it's certainly given me a little bit of a different way of thinking of things. So pretty cool article. So if you've not seen that, go and follow Jamie. It's on his Twitter feed. Give that a shout and have a read, because it's really interesting. Wanted to call out Holly Lehman and Isadora Katanich. if you don't know, they've got a monthly YouTube series that goes out where they talk to community. They talk about all sorts of different topics, and I think they were pushing their 300 subscriber. I think they've broken that now, which is cool to see. I do watch their shows. I mean, they're great shows, really, just to kind of. I find them uplifting, inspirational. They've got some great guests on there. They've, from not just around the techie community, but it's quite a mix, and it's really great to see. So, if you're not following this channel, I can't recommend it highly enough. Go and give them a follow. Give some support to Holly and Izzy, doing some fantastic things. And of course, congratulations to Izzy and Thomas. Some great news this week came out, I think, yesterday or the day before. So congratulations, guys, on that. So yeah, just wanted to shout out to Head in the Cloud, Heart in the Community YouTube series. And moving on, thanks to Shabazz, I had a quick look through his article on his IamITgeek.com blog around the AZ 140, which is the WVD exam. So I believe Shabazz has taken that exam when it was in beta. It's definitely on the horizon for me to take. I did get a little bit close to WVD back last year. I've not had chance to kind of keep up with that, so it's certainly something that I personally want to look at. So I'll probably use Shabazz's guide for that, just to kind of see, what resources he used to study for the exam, and his thoughts and feelings are. So thanks for that, Shabazz. Just wanted to give that a bit of a call out on today's show. Okay, Olivier Block. Obviously, those that have been following me will know that I've been studying towards the AZ220 exam. So it's great to see. Excuse me. It's great to see these initiatives from Microsoft. They've just launched this 30 days to learn it, where you can get 50% discount code to sit the AZ220 exam if that's what you would like to work towards. And to be honest, there's lots of different paths that you can take. So I believe there's AI fundamentals, there's the solutions architect, developer. So you can, it's basically a bunch of learn modules, but within 30 days, if you do take part in one of those tracks, you will get yourself a 50% discount voucher for the AZ220 exam. So just wanted to give that a shout out. I've retweeted it, so if you're following me, you should be able to find it in my Twitter feed, or go and have a look over on Olivier's page. But it's effectively aka.ms/30 days to learn it /IoT show. Okay, and finally, community call out. I just wanted to give a shout out to Kirk Bryan. So Kirk invited me on to my first Clubhouse talk. I was invited a little while back to join Clubhouse. So for those of you that don't know what Clubhouse is, it's like an interactive conversational. It's almost like a live stream without the video, effectively, where you got various rooms and moderators of those rooms where you can go in and talk about a specific subject, and if you've got a question or something to say, you can kind of put your hand up, go onto the stage, as they call it, and the moderator can call you into the conversation. And this week on the Cloud Club, which is a Clubhouse room, I guess you call them, Kirk was on with a few others from the community talking about going deep with Microsoft Azure. So I didn't join in. I was in the car at the time driving, so I didn't want to come off mute and just have a load of wind and road noise coming on. But it was great conversation. There were some really great points raised in that talk, and it went on for about 2 hours, which, to be honest, flew by, because I was driving down the motorway and just listening in. But yeah, thanks to Kirk for kind of pulling me into that one just to have a little listen, because it was great. And like I say, it was the first use of Clubhouse. I believe Clubhouse is only available on iOS at the moment. So if you are an Android user, I'm not sure that there's an app yet. I'm sure that will probably come. But anyway, that was my community call out. So yeah. So yeah, like I say, I try and do those community call outs every week, just to kind of raise a little bit of a platform, just to kind of show people the kind of things that I'm keeping an eye on and having a look at as we go through the week. Okay, so the final section of this show is going to be what I've lovingly called Jonnychipz on the side. So let's jump on over. Okay, first bit of news for this week. Really pleased as punch that I managed to sit on Monday and pass the Azure IoT Developer Specialty Exam, the AZ220. I gave a shout out to the people that have kind of really helped me through this. It goes without saying, Pete Gallagher has been, really massive inspiration for the majority of my IoT journey over the last, must be at least 7 or 8 months now, I guess. It's been super fun kind of learning it. Jürgen, James, and Reza, they've all done Pluralsight courses towards the AZ220. So they've got an almost complete track of all the AZ220 content on there. So I'd encourage anybody to go if you've got access to Pluralsight. In fact, I believe they're doing a free April, so you've still got a week left in April. If you wanted to go on, you can sign up for free and go and watch these courses if you are interested in that exam. But of course, there's a lot more content on Pluralsight that you can get access to. And obviously, again, a big shout out to Paul DiCarlo because, his inspirational talks, the content he put together back last year around the NVIDIA Jetson Nano devices and using them as IoT Edge devices, it's really enabled me to kind of make real all of these component parts of IoT and not just talk about them, actually sit, configure, play, break, reconfigure, break, and that's basically the way that it is and how I've learned these things. So huge thanks to all of those people that have kind of been there and put up with my little silly pictures and things like that across social media. It's been great fun, and obviously this is just the beginning for me with IoT. I hope to push it to the next level now over the coming months. So yeah, just that was obviously pretty super for me. Off the back of it, I've been keeping a little tally of all the pages, the docs pages that I was using to do kind of things like tutorials and quick starts, and of course all the Pluralsight content. So I put them together into a bit of a study guide for AZ220. And to be honest, when I flick back through it, I mean, I'm just scrolling through it now, and there's a lot of content. There really is. It's quite deceiving how much there was to actually get through. Now, I guess don't let that deter you from going towards it, because honestly, I can't stress enough. This has probably been the only exam that I haven't felt like I've been studying towards an exam. And that sounds like something, but honestly, it's been so fun. It's been super fun. Yes, I've spent a little bit of money that maybe, some people might not be able to afford, or, I've spent, a few £100 maybe on just Jetson Nano, a little developer kit. So, rightly or wrongly, if you're going to get into it, you're probably going to need a few little bits and pieces just to play. There are simulators. There are things that you can do without physical hardware, which is great. And people will absolutely learn the concepts. It's just, I like to see flashing lights. I like to see, feel the heat of a processor as it burns my hand from doing some processing. But what I did, I just put this study guide together. So if you want to see that, jump on over onto my blog, jonnychipz.com, and just search for AZ220. Okay, this last week in conversation with, just big thanks to Rishab Kumar. So Rishab, I've been speaking to Rishab for months and months and months. He was a massive part and still is a massive part of the 100 Days of Cloud community. So I just wanted to call him onto the challenge, have a bit of a chat with Rishab, because he's been such a huge support to me in my endeavors, and I know that he's a huge support to many others in the community as well, for those just starting out on the cloud journey. So if you want to rewatch that back, jump onto the playlist below, the In Conversation With playlist, and you'll see it there. But yeah, thank you, Rishab. Pleasure to have you on. Really great show, and thanks for the chat. And tonight, as it's Friday, we've got our next episode being released. So Thomas Thornton, Carl Cook, you know who you are. I think we've been having some fun chats over the months on Twitter. I mean, they're both brilliant guys. They've got great content going out from their own in their own rights. Thomas has got his blog that he's doing absolutely fantastic. He's hitting it out of the park with his articles that he's putting back out there. Carl's got his blog as well, and he's just such a huge support in the community. He's the one guy that you can guarantee will be there to support people. And Carl, it really is appreciated, genuinely appreciated. It's great to have people like you in the community as well. And I know you've got a lot to offer, so I'm really excited to see where Carl's going to be going over the coming months. So Really fun chat. Like I say, we covered quite a lot of ground in this talk. So if you're around tonight, 6:30 on the Azure Live twitch.tv, it'll go out on the YouTube an hour later at 7:30. There's some links there on the blog article to obviously Thomas's blog, Carl's blog, and their Twitter. So yeah, if you're around 6:30 BST, so tonight, jump onto the Twitch channel and join in the chat and say hello. Okay, so we seem to be getting back to a little bit of normality. Is basically, I mean, it's the title of this week's show, and it, I guess, this week for me has been no more true than it's been a bit of a whirlwind, as it probably has been over the last years. Not been easy in a lot of respects, whether that be just the pandemic and the virus itself, whether it be difficulties with employment and people losing jobs. I've been hugely fortunate. I know how fortunate I've been personally over this last year. And I suppose we've all kind of settled into this new way of life, not to use the cliche, but we've kind of settled into this. We know we're in our house, we might just go out to the supermarket once in a while. And this week has been a bit different because for me, I was traveling, whether that be for work, whether that be for my kids' activities. I would always seem to be on the road. So for me to do this kind of content was always a bit of a difficult thing for me to be able to do. But this week, things have started to come back to normality for me. So, I just wanted to call out this tweet. And it wasn't just a tweet that, look, I'm on the road. This is like a little bit of a turning point for me. It means that I'm getting back to the life that I had before I started becoming a little bit more public facing. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how I can balance that, because I really do enjoy creating these videos. I enjoy speaking to people I'm in conversation with, but equally, time is precious. And I think that has hit home for me this week more than anything else. So just wanted to call out, I'm guessing lots of people are feeling the same way, where we seem to be going back to this normality state, which is great and obviously welcome, but equally we've kind of got used to living the way that we've been living for the last year, I guess. So yeah, I just wanted to call that out as a little bit of a thoughtful moment, because quite what that means, I don't know yet. I'd love to be able to keep up everything I'm doing with the community effort, and obviously supporting my kids. We'll see how we get on. However, one thing that I did spot is that I was able to watch my my favorite shows from the car. So, by the way, that was my son that took the picture. I was driving, of course, but I just wanted to call out again IoT Live. It's very much the heart of the IoT journey that I've been on at the moment, and both Pete Gallagher and Cliff Aegis host this show once a week on the Azure Live channel, and yeah, I jumped on it from the car. So I just wanted to show that maybe this is my way of realizing that I don't actually need to be in the house to watch these shows. Obviously I wasn't watching it, I was listening to it through the stereo, but that's it. So, to kind of summarize where I've been, let's just jump over to the main cam. So yeah, like I say, just picking up off the back of Jonnychipz on the side. It's been a bit of a strange week in terms of, like I say, getting back to normality a little bit. Obviously increased workload and new projects starting off in work, passing some exams, looking to the future as to what is the next thing I want to start looking down. So in terms of technology areas, I've got a few on my radar in terms of either Kubernetes or maybe digging a bit deeper into AI and looking to do some of the AI associate examination. There's always something to do. It's good fun. I think we just need to realize that there's a balance we need to strike. So like I say, for me personally, family life is starting to come back to what it was before the pandemic, which did consist of us all jumping in the car, road trips quite more often than not. That's starting to come back, which obviously, is time. And it's something that I really love and enjoy, obviously, with the family. But at the same time, it kind of then questions, well, how do you keep up the pace of of change and keeping up to speed with your skills. And yeah, these are all things that the trick that I find is that I don't necessarily worry about it. It's just you've got to use your time cautiously, use it the best that you can. So I'm going to leave you on that note. Thanks so much for joining me again on this Jonnychipz Weekly. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've got something out of it. If you've got any comments or thoughts or feelings with it, then don't hesitate. Let me know. Drop a comment below. Reach out to me on Twitter. Really appreciate it if you're able to like and subscribe to my channel. It really does mean a lot. But yeah, that's it for now. So until next week, I'm John Lunn, and thanks for tuning in.